know how I can follow that. That was absolutely...
Hey, you chose the song.
But you did it like perfection. Thank you. Really appreciate it. So I was wondering, how many of you are good spellers? Good spellers. Who knows how to spell relief? I always ask that question. A woman way in the back said, call on me, I know how to spell relief. I said, how do you spell it? She said, relief is spelled D-I-V-O-R-C-E. I don't spell it that way. I don't spell it Roleig's way. I spell it a third way, and that is L-A-U-G-H. And what I want to show you this morning, I'm going to go over each letter, and I'm going to talk to you about, firstly, the first letter, which is title of my talk, the L words. And I know some of you know the HBO special, the L word. Yes, Pat's raising her hand. So if you know that show, I will not be talking about lesbians. I will not be talking about leprechauns. And I will not be talking about lizards. The L word I will talk about is what we talk about in unity, let go and let God. And I added one more L word to that. I'm going to be also talking about let go, let God, and laugh. So in unity, there's a lot of different traditions that we have stories about. And one of them comes from the Zen tradition. And it's about a monkey who saw a banana in a bowl and put his hand in and tried to get the banana out, and he was stuck because the opening was too small. And he tried, he struggled, and he could not do it. What he had to do was just let go of the banana and his hand would slip out. But he was stuck, he would not let go. And how often do you folks go around, you're so clenched up, you're so tight, that you don't let go of stuff that you need to let go of in order to escape from whatever is holding you back. So that's a wonderful story from the Zen tradition. And it's about let go. And you know, when I was preparing the speech this morning, amazingly, I'm always surprised at these things and they happen over and over. I probably should not be so surprised anymore. But today's daily word is change. It's not let go, but one of the sentences is, I let go of expectations and leave the outcome to God. Right in today's word. And then, yes, I was sitting on the toilet this morning. I was reading the pocket premise showed me, and right there, you know, what I like to do sometimes is when I have books like this, I just open it to a page. And whatever it says, calls out to me, that's my kind of word of the day. So today I opened it while on the job, and it said, how are we going to spend this brief lifetime? Are we going to strengthen our well-defined ability to struggle against uncertainty, or are we going to train in letting go? Let go. Again, two things about letting go. I want to make sure I don't go backwards here. So one of the things we need to let go and let God's good flow. Because when we get so tight, I think the good's around us, and we stop it. We struggle with things, we stop it. So I want to share a little from my life how I did that. And by the way, I'm going to let go of my notes right here. About several years ago, I was published by Random House, a division of Random House. And they published 7 of my books. They sold over 400,000 copies. And then they closed their doors. They wanted to downsize. And so they closed the doors, and I got the rights back. And for a year and a half, I struggled trying to sell those books to another company. And I called and I wrote for a year and a half, and nobody wanted to publish them. And so I thought, I'm going to let go. Let God's good flow. So I put this little sign above my computer, and I saw it every single day, all day long. And it said, the perfect publisher will find me. And I just let it go. And then I was at a publisher's meeting, and it was a room like this, and I was sitting there was a man sitting there. He turned around to 2 women behind him, and he said, he was trying to sell this book to them, and I heard them over say, well, we have a very successful publishing company, and we're starting a new division, and we're looking for uplifting, motivational, inspirational books. And I turned around and I said, I have 7 of those books, they're ready to go. And they gave me their card, and they said, send us your books. And I looked at their card. Their offices were 5 blocks from where I lived. So I took the books over, and they did publish one of the books. And then I went, they got too big for the little office, so they moved to Berkeley. I went to the opening party, and I walk in the door, and this woman comes up to me. She said, you don't know me. She said, I'm the owner of this company. I live in London. I'm so glad you're with us, and I need to tell you, I've known you for at least 10 years. And I looked at her, and I thought, I don't know you. And I said, how do you know me? And she said, for 10 years, I've lived across the street from you, and I see you walk your dog every single day. The perfect publisher found me, and just last month, they published my 7th book with them. What's the title? You Can't Ruin My Day. So we need to let go and let God's good happen. And now I have no PowerPoint up there, but I do have it here. Okay. Let go and also trust God's plan. And I have 2 stories from my own life about that. When I was about 7 years old, I was taken to my first Broadway show, Oklahoma. And I loved it so much that we got tickets for Carousel 2 weeks later, and we came in late. And I refused to leave the theater. I wanted to see the beginning. I thought that it was like a movie. And I could just, and my parents said no, and I didn't understand. I was only 7. And they dragged me out of the theater kicking and screaming. And from that day on, I went back to school and I told everyone and the teacher, I wanted to be a scenic designer. Teacher didn't even know what I was talking about. But I would take shoe boxes or cigar boxes, and I would make these pretty little dioramas. The book we were reading instead of doing a report. And so I was kind of a scenic designer at that young age. And then I grew up and I got into, I did some college productions, and I got into Yale Drama School. The most prestigious, why am I up there now? The most, Peggy said, keep going. No, stop that. How are we going? Okay. So I got into Yale Drama School, most prestigious theater school in the country, particularly for scenic design. And it's a 3-year master's, and I was kicked out after the first year. I was told I had no talent. And I thought, you can't tell me I have no talent. I've been designing, scene designs, not on stage, but in boxes, since I was 7 years old. And so I went back to New York. I got into the Scenic Design Union. I got a job at CBS Television. I designed Captain Kangaroo. I designed Merv Griffin. I designed Jackie Gleason Show. And my fellow classmates were still at school designing Yale College productions. I didn't know God's plan. I was devastated. I was kicked out of Yale. I didn't know that I would be a full designer, and did that for 10 years. Another story from my life, and I know some of you have heard this, but some haven't. It started about 35 years ago. And my wife Ellen went to the doctor just for a little checkup. And the doctor called back. Oh yeah, hi Ellen, I'm glad I got you in. We need to put you in the hospital and do some tests. Well, I don't really know what's wrong, but it kind of concerns me. It's looks like you have a rare disease, primary biliary cirrhosis. So mostly women over 65 get this. Ellen was 31. Prognosis? About 3 years. And indeed, Ellen did pass away 3 years later. And needless to say, it was a very difficult time. But Ellen had a great sense of humor and continued to use it even during those 3 years. Give you one example. She had a copy of Playgirl magazine with a man nude centerfold, and she said, Alan, I really like this picture this month. Can you put that on the wall over here. And she was in the hospital. And I said, "Ellen, this is a little risque for that." She said, "Maybe you should get a leaf in the plant, cover up this part." And I did that, and things are fine for the first day, fine for the second day, but by the third day, the leaves start shriveling out. And we came home, and we would start to laugh. And I didn't realize at the time, it was a very difficult time, 10-year-old daughter at the time, very difficult, no hospice at the time, no liver transplants, but I didn't realize to trust God's plan. And it was that incident that changed my whole life, and I started researching and studying the therapeutic value of humor, and I've been teaching that and writing about that for over 20 years, helping people lighten up. I didn't see that when I was going through that, but there was some higher plan that I didn't know about. So let go and trust God's plan. One thing I don't understand about God's plan is how come somebody like this, that's me.
You let the hair go also.
Yes, exactly. With a curly head of hair. What is God's plan in having me look like this?
He's got a sense of humor.
God has a sense of humor, yes. Otherwise, why would he make like hippopotamuses or she make giraffes or, of course God has a sense of humor. So, and by the way, I tell people I'm a former expert in how to cure baldness. Former. So that leads us to the other let go word, let the laughter flow. Let God, good flow, trust God's plan, and let the laughter flow. So we're going to do a little laughing. Now we're going to play a game. And the game is we're going to sing this song. And the song is My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean. I think most of you know it, but there are the words if you don't. So this is the way it works. Every time we'll come to a B with a word with a B in it, you'll stand up. Second word with a B in it, you'll sit down. Third word with a B, you'll stand up, so on and so on. Is that clear? And to make it a little more interesting, I'm going to turn this off. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the sea. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. Oh, bring back my Bonnie to me. Bring back, bring back, oh, bring back my Bonnie to me. Bring back, bring back, oh, bring back my Bonnie to me. You might understand the vision. I know some of you are thinking, should I have been standing or seated at the end? Doesn't matter. Reason I ask you to do the game, because if you get into gameplay, you forget about your problems. Problem with this game is most of you cannot probably do it at work, or the bank. It's not always appropriate. But you can always play up here and change your energy that way. So I want to show you that right now. I'll give you about 15, 20 seconds. Think about one little thing you're not letting go of and is stressing you out. Not letting go of. Little thing. We don't have that much time together. Little thing. Okay, who wants to share that with us? One little thing that stresses you out, not letting go of, maybe you're worrying about, little thing. Who would like to share? Yes, Francine.
My dog is suffering from a herniated disc, and I'm having trouble keeping him quiet and keeping him still.
Okay. And how does that make you feel?
Anxious.
Anxious, of course. It's your loving pet. So this is a little more difficult because that's kind of a bigger thing, but let's try it. Would you tell us just what you said? I get anxious because my dog is, say, not well, making a lot of noise, and then right after it you're going to say either ho ho, ha ha, or hee hee.
Okay. My dog's health condition is making me anxious because he won't relax and lie down.
Okay, I know it's silly, I know you're smiling and chuckling here, and I know the dog's not here today. How does it make you feel playing with this situation that makes you anxious?
Ridiculous.
ridiculous. Which, when something's ridiculous, what happens? You you laugh. And if you're laughing, you're getting that perspective. It's a serious kind of situation, but you still can get that perspective. Francine, let me give you a little gift. Next time the dog is making noise and it's annoying you, take this out and look in the mirror. You want to show it? Model it for us? Yes. So let me show you another little let go process. You all have some balloons, or most of you have some balloons. Take out your balloon. Give it a couple of big stretches so it's easy to blow up. And then think about the thing you want to let go of, that you're holding on to, and blow that thing in the balloon. And then just hold on to it. Let go of that. Okay, you don't hold your balloon up in the air, it doesn't matter how big it is. When I count to 3, you're going to let go of the balloon and let go of that stress. Ready to let go?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, let go. Let go. I didn't know if you saw what I saw. Some people would not let go of their stress. Some people, their stress came back to them.
Yes.
Some people got hit by other people's stress.
Right?
But what I'm talking about is using some humor, laughter, and play to change your attitude. L was let go. Change your attitude. Things are the way they are, and it's our attitude that makes the difference. A couple of examples. In my first book, The Healing Power of Humor, I talk about Tom Sullivan. You may have heard about him. He's a young man. He's been blind since childhood. He's also an avid sports fan. And Tom said, well, I tried boxing and realized what a great sport for someone who can't see. So he said, I turned to golf. He said, I practiced a lot. And the leading golfer in this country said, Tom, he said, you're really good at this game. He said, I'd love to play a round of golf. He said, but I'll tell you what. Since you're handicapped, he said, since you're blind, he said, let me give you a handicap. Tom said, I don't need a handicap, I'm already blind. Tom said, I'll tell you what. Tom said, let me pick the time you play. Tom picked midnight and won the match. Tom says, we all have disadvantages. He said, take your disadvantage, turn it into an advantage. Change your attitude. In the next book, The Courage to Laugh, I looked a little deeper and I looked at people who are going through major life challenges. And one of the people I write about is John Callahan. He's a quadriplegic, he's in a wheelchair, and yet he does cartoons to show us we can learn to lighten up about what life hands us. For example, 3 of his cartoons. Don't worry, you won't get far on foot. This town ain't accessible enough for both of us. Don't be a fool, Billy. Okay, some famous author talked about attitude when he's, I'm sorry, it's, that's the next slide. So it's not the situation, it's how you handle it. And Sullivan and Callahan handled it with humor. They changed their attitude with humor. So a famous author, I think you can see who that is, said our attitudes are the crayons that color our world. Attitudes are the crayons that color the world. So how are you coloring your world? And one of the things that really sometimes we need to let go is we live in the Great Bay Area, but we're stuck in traffic jams. And so how can you change your attitude towards that? So you might want to, and this is you, Y-O-U, you need to do it. No one else can do it for you. Change your attitude, let go. So in traffic jams, you can look for funny bumper stickers like this one. Be nice to your kids, they choose your nursing home. Exactly. Or another one I saw, it said, careful, I'm wearing clean underwear. Or one of the things that I do is I'm in traffic jams, I roll down the window, and well, if there's enough solution. Well, you get the picture. I know. It's interesting when you're a speaker because you test at least I do, test everything before I speak, and then you get up here and it doesn't work. Okay. It's not going to ruin my day. Hint. So, one of the things that cartoonists do is they exaggerate. One of the ways you can let go of stuff is exaggerate till you find the humor. So for example, here's some cartoons in a hospital setting, exaggerated. And this is, I'm sorry, to go do it. In my book, Human Power of Humor, 14 Techniques, one of them is exaggeration. I thought the engineers fixed that. Our first post-operative gas release. Nice job of lettering, but therapist is one word. I'm afraid it's a yeast infection. It would seem you have a small anal fissure, Mr. Duffy. And the next slide is going to be for the women in the audience only. So man, you might not want to look at this. This is if women controlled medicine, that'd be the manogram. So talking about exaggeration, sometimes the economy's not so great. You might want to exaggerate it, like we print the money. Sometimes we're on the phone and we don't like that, so you might want to exaggerate, like this cartoon. If you like to pass the time by speaking to someone else who's on hold, press 4. Computers are great. Computers are fabulous, but they too annoy us, so you might want to exaggerate it. All I did was hit the delete button. And then can you let go of some of the stuff at home by exaggerating things that annoy you that you're not letting go of? Yes, look at these cartoons. He's always doing things you might put the next day he threw up. And here's a couple in bed. The man is reading The Joy of Sex. The woman is reading The Joy of Cooking. And she says to him, well, at least my cooking has improved. And then, of course, we're all getting older, and some of us don't like that, and you need to let go of that, too. Example from the cartoon world. Gosh, I remember when happy hour was something other than a good bell ring. I thought that somebody was pinching my bottom, and then I realized I was stepping on it.
Oh, the truth.
So, folks, there is humor all around. And the last letter is H for open your humor eyes and humor ears and let go and let God help you with the flow of your laughter and humor. Give you a couple of examples. I was in the laundromat recently, and when I looked on the wall, there was a sign. And the sign said, when the machine stops, remove all your clothing. Which I did. Another little story about humor all around. You know, in California, if you're speeding on the highway, the police send you a ticket, a photo of your license plate, and the ticket. So this man got the ticket for $100 for speeding, and he sent back to the police a photo of two 50s. Next week he gets an envelope from the police, he opens it up, it was a photo of handcuffs. So folks, there is humor all around. If you just remember L, let go. A, change your attitude. U, Y-O-U, need to G, go do it. And H is open your humor eyes and humor ears, and look and listen for humor. I have a very quick closing process with you, but if you want more humor, you can go to my website, alanklein.com. I have a mailing list. I have a short mid-month memo I send out on the 15th of every month with a little humor. You can sign up for that. And also I brought 2 of my books. Healing Power of Humor is the 25th year in printing this year. And You Can't Ruin My Day is a little over 25 days since it's been published. So, before we do that, in closing, I want to ask you to take an oath. So would you please all raise your right hand and repeat after me. Starting right now.
Starting right now.
I will let go.
I will let go.
Let God.
Let God.
And let the laughter flow.
And let the laughter flow.
So help me, Groucho Marx.
So help me, Groucho Marx.
That's it.
Is that your book?
Did you look at his butt?
All right, everyone. Thank you very much to Alan Klein for showing us the healing. And since we ended on kind of a high note, and we got some calisthenics in there too, I would like to help everyone transition now into an inward time as we prepare for our period of meditation. Allow your heart to soften and open. In this meditation, we will embark on the process of letting go. What are you holding on to? What no longer serves? Allow your mind to relax and to begin to release the grip on what it is clinging so tightly to. As you invite your mind to let go, just let go and let God. Let God. unfold your highest and your best in your life right now. Allow your heart to open as your heart lets go of any concern or trouble or worry that it has been holding on to. As the pervading, all-encompassing love and wisdom of God frees your mind and opens your heart and allows you to truly relax and be supported in the wisdom, peace, love, and understanding that surpasses all earthly circumstance. You are supported. As you let go, as you let God, you are cradled in this wisdom, love, and support. I invite you to take this truth, this blissful knowingness now into the silence.